Somehow to correct the history and to show that you can go from the ashes and become something that shines like gold. And I think Rwanda, being a country that experienced one of the worst type of experience that any human being can go through, and now experiencing one of the best leadership that the world have seen in our generation, was a starting point of this summit. And Kigali was the most fit place to host this event, to show not only what leadership can do, but especially to push it further and give some keys for us as a nation and as a people to go and show the world that in Rwanda we don't only kill each other, but we can give life to others as well.
I'm very, very excited to be here and so honored to be a part of the conference. Specifically, my session is going to be talking a lot about influence and how to develop influence as one of the key leadership tools. And it builds on a lot of my personal stories. In the U.S., where I'm from, I was a very young parent. I became a parent at 17, but I was able to go on and do many things by way of authoring a few books, becoming an international speaker now, several companies, and helping other people to facilitate developing companies. So the thing that I am most excellent at is developing the idea of helping people to expand their influence, and specifically expanding your influence, because once you do that, you can get people to buy into whatever it is that you're trying to lead them to do. And so what I talk about, or what I'm going to be talking about during the conference for one of the tools, is this idea, but specifically the idea of what the Rwandan men and women who are already displaying excellent leadership by way of being able to rebuild this great city in under 21 years, how can you do that so that it's not just specific to the Rwandan country, but it becomes this thing that expands globally so that you can truly have influence worldwide. And I'm just so honored to be a part of the panel and to be speaking with these great speakers.
Thank you so much. My name is Chari Masala. I'm from South Africa. I have been mentored and raised by Dr. Miles Monroe from the time when I was a teenager. I'm 43 years old today, and I run an organization called Miles Monroe International Africa. I'm responsible for the continental work of Dr. Miles Monroe, and post his time, I'm responsible also for making sure that Dr. Miles Monroe and Ruth Monroe's legacies, won't die, and that's what I do.
Good afternoon. My name is H.E. McEachern. I am from the U.S. as well. As Emmanuel stated, I'm from Atlanta. However, I've been living in Florida, which is, you all may or may not know, the southeast region of the United States. And for the past 15 or 16 years, my focus has been on youth and young leaders as well as women. And as Stacy stated, this is my first time here as well, and it is an honor to be here and an honor to be home. This is home, and we understand that we are in the heart of Africa, and we are very honored. And one of the things that I'll be covering during my session is the empowerment of leadership and young leaders. And I am very amazed to see even the journalists in this room. You all are young leaders doing amazing things, and everyone was born with the capacity to lead in your domain, in your area of gifting. And with that, just understanding the attitude that comes with that, as Charlie stated, to overcome the things that our people have gone through here in Africa as well as in America, and understanding that that does not define us, but what defines us is what we are called to do in our area of gifting. And so we're just excited to be here. We're here to serve you in whatever capacity that we can. So thank you.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun.
Work, right? So you are only as influential as the action that people take. And the level of action that people are taking around you is directly related to the people who are either following you, who submit to you, who do these things. And so as you're examining us here, and to the question before, you're saying, well, what have you done? Where is your evidence? Who are your things? It's like when you come to the conference and we begin to talk to you about your personal leadership, we are going to be giving you a tool, not just so you can look at us and say, look, this is what they have done, because I have done things and I can give you those reports, but I'm going to give you this tool and this system. So if it's 300 or 300 people who are influenced by the paper that you're writing, you can actually inspire specific action. For example, you can write, you should come to the Kigali Leadership Summit, and then everyone who reads your paper will be influenced by your specific gift of leadership, and then they'll come. That's influence, that's leadership, that's impact. Those are results. And sometimes we can't get those tangible things. Sometimes we can't calculate, but the idea is if you can examine the lives that you've touched and the action that people have actually taken, you can begin to see that visionary leadership is really about the whole thing. It's not the glorious celebrity. It is the individual person standing up for their personal leadership and saying,
we don't believe that truth is in positions. It's one of the things that, as ITWLA, we don't believe that everything in that position means everything. Why? Because we believe that everybody was born and created to lead, and they have that capacity to have dominion. Everybody is created to lead. So we believe that there are people who the media haven't highlighted, but they are powerful people, like the faculty and speakers who have been chosen for this week. So, and I'm happy that the people who are chosen to come and facilitate are speakers that you might not have had, but they will, they will embarrass the system, the known system.
Okay. Everything you know, everything you're trying to build on is a fail today. That's why you need a new type of leadership. That's what he was referring to. Everything people knows today, and most of these people you are referring to, when you talk to them, they don't know what to do. They're having meetings on meetings on meetings with nothing to give answers. Africa today is one of the emerging, not even one of the emerging powers, but it's the only way that the world can turn around. And I was just thinking, I said, why did you ask this question and you're the one who informed people? That means you should have done your homework. I hope and I believe this summit will add on Rwanda is, as a nation, we have a very good leadership, vision leadership. But what we're bringing is to break up that leadership is not about politics only. Leadership starts, that's why our topic is keys for personal leadership first. Because as a nation, we have a vision. What about you? What do you see? Let me tell you something. I was born in this nation. I just left going to Europe. Now I live in Canada. It was because of a vision that all of these people left their home, spent times booking, preparing, that they are here. That is a proof in itself that we can do something without having a well-known last name. Most of these people cannot even pronounce my last name.
But then we look at ourselves and we don't expect much. So I ask, when you look at yourself, what do you see? What are you expecting of yourself? Do you think the answer should come from someone else? Or do you think it's inside of you? Because you have a gift, an area of gifting, a domain that you are to take control of. And when you look for someone else to do it, you're disrespecting yourself, you're degrading yourself, but it was put for you to do. And that's what we're here to do. And as we are all young leaders as well, we've learned the art of that. So as Hubert and everyone stated, we may not be the president or the prime minister or in stars and light, but we know the truth, and the truth about our personal leadership, which is what we're here to serve to you as well. You, young man, you're a powerful, influential person, and you have the power to change the face of the nation. And for us being here, especially our first time, it's amazing. You know, for years, what the world has painted Africa to be is not true. They've even turned us, we're originally from here, you know, and turned us against our own nation because of what they've shown, to make us think that we don't have the leadership capacity it takes to really make a difference. But as Hubert said, the future is in the third world, it's in Africa. We know that. We're clear on that. We see that vision, and that's why we're here. It's not by circumstance, it's not by happenstance, it's not just by coincidence. We saw a vision, we took time out, and we said, we see something bigger than ourselves, and that's being here. And we are so honored to be here with you all. There's a problem on the earth that you need to solve. It is over 7 billion people on the earth, and no one has your DNA. No one has your fingerprints. So it is for you to solve. And that's what I'm going to be talking about.
Defiance campaigns around the world and change was brought through by young people. Mm-hmm. You know, I would even think of my own country, South Africa. You know, it was the youth who marched in the streets in 1976. And it was the start of defiance campaigns, and and the women all got involved also. So young people are dangerous because they know what haven't worked, and they look up to the future. We are futuristic.
I don't consider myself a feminist. I'm a female who understands the power of females. And one thing about women is that we don't necessarily need position or titles, because women are the influencers. We lead by influence. And if you look at history, rise and falls of nations have been because of females, inadvertently or advertently. And understanding the power of females in leadership.
The question of staying longer in leadership is very relative. It's a very relative question, and there is no direct answer to that question, except to say it is dangerous when a leader stays longer than they should in a position. I don't know if what I just said now makes sense, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. The question is, how long is long? Okay. So different countries have different, limits that a leader can serve as a president, which is constitutional. Okay? And it's obviously coming with democracy. You got to understand that from where I stand, I believe that one of the greatest blessings of our world today, of the 21st century, is democracy. Okay? But I also believe that one of the greatest curses of our world in the 21st century is democracy. And there's a paradox. And the reason for this is because if you agree, for example, lately there's agreements in around the world that a man and a man can get married, and it's called a marriage. Okay, and they call it democracy. Okay, a male and a male will never, they can never have a marriage. They can't give birth to children, no matter how many people vote for it. Democracy would vote and say, okay, let the president just serve one term. How much can you do for a country in one term? Huh? How much can you do in one term? 5 years. Most of the time in that 5 years, a president is still trying to understand what's going on. Okay, so there are advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so I believe that when you stay too longer than you should, it is dangerous for you, it's dangerous for the country. And if you are happy with your president running again, then encourage him to run by voting him in again. There's nothing wrong. You can't just say, no, we're going to dump him because we feel that it shouldn't be more than 10 years or it shouldn't be more than 15 or whatever the case may be. Okay, so it's I can't just say it's wrong or it's right. It really depends on the circumstances. It's really neither here nor there. As long as you are breathing, there's something you can do. And I don't believe in retirement. Because that's why that word retirement is not even in the Bible. It's amazing. You don't find it. There's no retirement. There's no pension in the Bible. Go read. You'll find out. So why? Because you can't retire from who you are.
Many people think leadership is just about politics and position and power and so on. But leadership starts within you. So the person who is in you should actually be the one you should focus on. If I can summarize, maybe what they came to introduce us to ourselves.
Very good.
Coming to the opportunity, I believe that when we choose one president in the country, it does not mean he's the cleverest of everybody in the country. It just means that we have consensus and feel that this person can lead us to a particular destination at any given time. I do not believe that when we give opportunity to someone for 10 years, it means that we disadvantaging the other, because there's always more than one. And also when we think leadership, we don't think leadership in terms of positions. We think leadership in terms of your individual, personal gifting that you have, which is inherent in you, which is the reason for your living. Someone saying, well, you say everybody was born to lead. So if everybody was going to lead, who's going to follow? Okay. It's not a problem. The followers would always be there, because what she's gifted in doing, I'm not gifted in doing. And in that thing that she's gifted to do, I become her follower, even though I'm leading in certain situations. Okay. So we were born to, all of us, lead. And all of us will have followers. Okay. And leading does not necessarily mean that you must be a supervisor or manager of a department and people under you and so on. Let me give you an example of a golfer. His name is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods have won a lot of championships. Okay. As a matter of fact, at some point he was described as the youngest leading golfer. But Tiger Woods is not going to. It doesn't have a department that he leads. That's another example again. I'm thinking of President Mugabe. Now, my thinking of Mugabe is a lot different from what a lot of you think. because you're gonna thank the Zimbabweans will thank Mugabe very soon, because their land still belongs to them. You know what it means to live in a land where you don't own land? What are you president over when you don't own land? I look at countries like Namibia, which is owned by individuals. Individual white people who owns it, and some of them don't even live there. Okay, so no matter what you say about Mugabe, I still think in that area of land, man, he has helped his country. Zimbabwe is one of the countries where, as a black man, you will walk proud. You can't rule without land. Okay? So I think that war that Mugabe forged for his people is not all negative. Okay? Obviously, there are ways that certain things could have been done and so on. Mugabe is not God. He's not a saint. I'm not even ZANU-PF. I'm just looking at things from what I understand it to be. There is a need for African leaders to preserve their lands. The land question issue, even in South Africa today, is still not solved. It's one of our sponsors. They did a great job throughout the weeks. They did a great job. You can give them a round of applause.
Would you like water?
Kigali today.